Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We are coming to you live from PAX Unplugged here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Day 3 of the con, the last day, bringing you all the cool board game coverage. And as per usual, I'm still Matt. I'm joined with my special guest host, Julie, down at the end there. Hi,
hey.
Julie. And we've got our special guest right now. We got Costello. How you doing, Costello?
I'm good. How's your PAX been?
It has been busy, but fun. It's been a lot of fun.
It's about the same for us.
Con treating you good?
Con treating us very well.
Fantastic. So there's a bunch of boxes on the table because you've graced us with some giveaway copies here. So you guys watching in chat, feel free. There's going to be a giveaway contest you could enter and raffle off some of these items for the stream. But what games do we have here on the table?
We have Orphans and Ashes. It is the game of strategic orphan burning. This is from Blind Ferret.
Strategic orphan burning.
Yes.
I heard that right.
You did.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
It makes more sense when you know that it's based on Looking for Group.
Okay.
This is a webcomic that Blind Ferret's been publishing for over 10 years now. And it is the adventures of Kale, heroic elf, who believes there's good in this world, and an undead warlock that somehow is his best friend, Richard, who just believes that there's not. So, as happens in the comic, they come across a burning orphanage in their adventures together. Kale, being a hero, says, "Oh no, I have to help the orphans," and he runs inside to help them. And so, if you are playing the Kale player, you are the blue player, the good guy.
Okay, and I can show off any of the components in my little close-up cam over here as well.
Boom. Then there is Richard, who is like, "Don't mind if I do," and goes in to help himself to the orphans.
Don't mind if I
Don't mind if I do.
That sounds really eerily familiar.
Richard, his evil magic is fueled by the souls of the innocent.
Okay.
So he sees an orphanage fire as like an oil spill. It's a waste of a natural resource. So if you're the Richard player, you're mainly just trying to beat the yellow fire to get to the orphans. Here's the yellow fire.
Okay.
You're trying to get to the orphans and use your red fire, your soul-siphoning red fire.
Okay.
But he knows that if Kale ever catches him using his soul-siphoning magic on an orphan, he's going to get a big, long speech and it's just going to ruin the whole experience for him.
Is that a screaming orphan right there?
That is a screaming orphan. Oh, it gets better.
Oh my god, you've got screaming orphan components.
All right, do you want to see the real cool part?
Please.
All right, take the Kale figure.
Okay.
Notice how his arms are all flexed up like that?
Yep, totally.
Notice how the orphan's arms are kind of over his head?
Oh, no way.
Loop the orphan through Kale's arms. Oh, no, you're carrying him like... Here, hold on. Like this.
Oh, my God.
Because if you're the Kale player, you are trying to pick up the orphans and bring them to safety while keeping an eye on Richard.
Oh, my God.
Which means you're trying to be at 3 places at once. So one of the strategies for the Kale player is just to fit as many orphans as he can onto his miniature before going to the exit as few times as possible. But meanwhile, Richard he's kind of the mouse in this cat and mouse situation. So as soon as the cat's away, he just plays with his cheese. The cheese being the orphans.
Orphan cheese.
Delicious orphan cheese.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time making sure all these components interact. So you can see, you can also catch Kale on fire. The orphans can catch fire. Everybody in the game can catch fire.
That's fantastic. I love it.
So this was launched a couple of years ago, and the base game is just a 2-player game, but we've had so much success with it that we tried to expand it, and we turned it into a 4-player game with the More Fun expansion.
It's the PHUN fun.
Yes.
I see that. So what is the More Fun expansion?
More Fun expansion turns it into a 3 or 4-player game. Mm-hmm. So it can either be 3 or 4-player head-to-head. Mm-hmm. It can be 2-on-2 co-op. Okay. And in that case, we give team-specific goals instead of character-specific goals. Or it can be a 4-player co-op, and we just have a very aggressive orphanage fire that's spreading after everyone's turn. Okay. It also introduces the 2 new characters. So whereas the first one is very much black and white, good and evil, this one adds 2 shades of gray characters.
Oh,
so you've got
shades of
Benny.
gray.
Benny is a healer, so initially you might think that she is a good character, just a good person.
You would think.
She's in crippling debt, and so she will only use her good powers when it benefits her financially.
Okay.
And that is represented with these... Here, let me put an orphan on it. She's good-ish. I don't know how well that's going to show up on the green screen. Hopefully it does.
It's probably going to be see-through, but we'll find out here.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately.
There's totally oh wow, this is weird.
That's so weird.
This is so weird. It looks like I'm grabbing by nothing, but this is a there we go.
So there we go. She has these green wards. It's similar to the bubble around the orphan on the box. So those protect a character temporarily from fire, but anytime they use it, she scores a point because they got to pay.
Ah, okay.
And then the other neutral-ish character is Suba. Suba is a wild panther that Kale in the comics convinced himself is his faithful companion. But he has a tenuous control over her at the best of times. So when he drags her into an orphanage that's on fire and says, "Get the orphans," there's a 50-50 chance she just goes feral and mauls every orphan in sight. So that's represented by, at the beginning of the game, you figure out what your goal is. Either saving orphans, in which case you take off the back piece, and she can carry orphans on her back.
Oh, look at that.
Or you're in murder mode, and she is just going wild, killing everybody almost every turn.
So when they're riding on the back right there, it looks like they're having the most grand time. They're like,
right?
roller coaster.
It's been a very strange day for these orphans. This panther probably burst through a flaming doorway, put the orphan on her back, and then just ran for the exit.
And then you could maul them as well, you know.
Well, it depends. Depends on the day.
Either or.
Depends on the day. All right, that's... I'm overwhelmed by the fact of how ridiculously awesome this is right now.
I know. And like, we know that a lot of people will just buy it based on the game of strategic orphan burning, but we do stand by the strategy part of that title, even though the rest of it is, a little
But you
hot buttony.
gotta have a good backbone to it. You can't just have
absolutely,
the
yeah. So we made an effort, and I like the toys. I've designed and developed it, so I was able to control every element of the design of these figures to make sure that they really work together. So like this Kale figure can easily carry 8 orphans, like 6 on his arm, 2 of them log carried.
Really?
And then I've seen people just stack orphans upon orphans.
How about between
orphans
his legs?
upon orphans.
Between his legs, we don't allow. It has
All
to
right.
be in some way elevated off the ground.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What's your personal record? Was it 8 then? You're saying?
Okay. In game, yeah, 8 is the one only. That's as comfortable as I want to get, because if you drop an orphan when you're moving Kale, you've lost that orphan, and that's on Kale. And so
orphan down.
Exactly. But sometimes we just stack as many orphans as we can in like a crazy Jenga configuration, and we've had 30 plus orphans.
I need to see that.
Just for
That's
funsies.
fantastic.
There are pictures.
Where can we find those pictures?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But more importantly, where can we find Orphans and Ashes?
If you go to any of the Blind Ferret comics, so if you go to lfg.co, that's Looking for Group's website, you can go to the shop there. And we're only selling it directly now, although we should be in distribution soon.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Oh, and if you're here, go to booth 956.
956 here at PAX Unplugged. Is there anything else you want to talk to us about Orphans and Ashes today?
We've got a couple of copies to give away,
Oh,
the base set
fantastic.
and the expansion. I don't know how.
Two
How
of
do you
the
want to give it away?
So there's 2 base sets and 2 expansions
That's
here.
right.
So the way that we do giveaways on our stream is people are watching and they're earning points while they're watching, and they could buy tickets to these virtual raffles by spending those points that they get
This
from
is the
watching
future.
us. I know,
the
right?
future is now.
Digital currency. And you could
Amazing.
use that digital currency to save some orphans or murder some orphans for your own personal reasons and catch them on fire and save them from the
Acquire
fire.
goods.
There you
Yeah.
go. Acquire goods. The goods
2.5
just happen to be
characters are saving the
orphans.
orphans.
There you go. But we're going to have that giveaway up and running for you all throughout the day today, and we'll be pulling our winners at the end of the day, and we'll ship it out to you. Free shipping if you are in the U.S. Outside U.S., 50-50 halvesies on that. But otherwise, Costello, thank you so much for coming on the stream and
Excellent.
showing
Thanks
it
for
up
having
for
me.
us. We really do appreciate it.
All right. Great to meet you both.
And
Likewise.
thank you all for watching it at home. Stay tuned for more live coverage from PAX Unplugged. Signing off for now, I'm Matt.
Oh, I'm Costello.
There you go.
I'm Julie.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.